Now, let me show you what God says to you that just robbed God. What did it say, Deacon?
Ye are cursed with a curse.
Hold on, read that again, Deacon.
Ye are cursed.
Now, he's talking to the one that decided that I'm not going to give that time to God. I'm not going to give that money to God. Don't look at me crazy. I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to your neighbor. It said, ye are cursed with a curse. Deacon Kirby said, man, that's bad. That's a double cursing.
That's right.
I mean, it's bad enough when God curses you one time, but when he curses you with a curse, that's a burden that you're going to have to, bear.
Yes.
It said, ye are cursed with a curse, for ye have done what?
Rob me.
God is the wrong person that you want to rob, church. We are taught that you shouldn't be robbing anybody. Well, when you go to the extent of robbing God, be prepared to be cursed with a curse. And what did it say?
Even this whole nation.
Even this whole nation. And what did it say?
Bring ye all the tithes into the storehouse.
This is what I want you to do. Bring ye all the tithes into the storehouses, that there may be what?
Meat in my house.
Meat in mine house, and what?
And prove me now herewith, saith the Lord of hosts.
And prove me. Saith the Lord of hosts, if what?
If I will not open you the windows of heaven.
See if I don't open the windows of heaven. And do what?
And pour you out a blessing.
And pour you out a blessing that what?
That there shall not be room enough to receive it.
Now, you remember that rich man that had the field? What do you think about God's blessings? There isn't going to be no room. But you remember how the pastor always talks about the divine order of leadership and things like that? Let me show you the divine order of giving. It said, bring ye all the tithes into the storehouse. Now, don't skip that and go straight to, and prove me now herewith, saith the Lord, if I will not open you the windows of heaven and pour you out a blessing. Don't go straight to the blessing part. You got to bring the tithes into the storehouse before you can open up your hand. Kirby, I need a loan from the church. Oh, can I get a loan from you, Deacon Kirby? No, don't go to the church expecting to get something if you haven't even put anything in. I think it was a friend of the pastor that said, what did he say? Nothing, who was that? Nothing from nothing leaves nothing. Who was that said that? Reverend Ike? If you haven't put nothing in, don't go to the bank and say, I need to take something out. You got to put something into the savings account first.
No deposit, no return.
That's the divine order. Yeah. It said, bring ye all the tithes into the storehouse. And after that, it said that there may be meat in my house, and prove me now herewith, saith the Lord of hosts, if I will do what?
If I will not open you the windows of heaven.
And do what?
And pour you out a blessing, that there shall not be room enough to receive it.
How many of you all want God to pour you out a blessing? Oh, man, yes. Huh? I do. But John raised both hands back there. I do. I want God to pour me out a blessing. Yeah. But you know what? I got to bring my tithes into the storehouse first. Yeah. I have to invest my time as well as my money into God, what God has for me. Yes. And it says what?
And I will rebuke the devourer for your sakes.
Not only am I going to pour you out a blessing because you brought your tithes, you've made an investment into me. Not only am I going to pour out a blessing, but I'm going to do what?
Rebuke the devourer for your sakes.
Rebuke the devourer for your sakes, and he shall do what?
Not destroy the fruit of your ground.
He ain't going to be able to touch your fruit. He ain't going to be able to touch it. And what did it say?
Neither shall your vine cast her fruit before the time in the field, saith the Lord of hosts.
The fruit is going to come in the time that I say for it to come. And 12th verse says what?
And all nations shall call you blessed.
And how many?
All nations.
And all nations shall do what?
Call you blessed.
Shall call you blessed for what?
For ye shall be a delightsome land, saith the Lord of hosts.
You know, from ages around 20 years old to 29 years old, during my 20s, The Lord has blessed me with 2 condos, brand new, 2 houses, brand new. What, about 4 or 5 different brand new cars? And people at my job and different people that I come in contact with, they scratch their head and wonder. These are people that are twice my age because they haven't gotten that much. But you want to know why that is? Because I don't cheat God, and God don't cheat me. I don't cheat God, and God don't cheat me. I do what God expects me to do. And I try and give a little bit more. What did it say? And all nations shall call you what?
Blessed.
How many of you all want to be blessed?
Amen.
And what did it say? For ye shall be what?
A delightsome land, saith the Lord of
How
hosts.
many of you all want to be a delightsome land? Well, don't cheat God. St. John 5:25 in closing. Said, thou fool, this night thy soul shall be required of thee. This night thy soul shall be required of thee. St. John 5:25 says what?
Verily, verily, I say unto you,
Uh-huh.
the hour is coming,
The hour is coming, and what?
and now is,
And now is that hour when what?
when the dead shall hear the voice of the Son of God,
When the dead shall hear the voice of the Son of God, and what?
and they that hear
And they that hear shall do what?
shall live.
You know, my wife and I have a nursing home ministry, as well as our kids. And, you know, we may, if one for whatever reason is not available, I may go without my wife sometimes if she's not feeling good or something like that. She may even go without me. I asked her 2 days ago, our neighbor is having had surgery. He's been in the hospital now for a couple of days and expecting him to still be there for a couple of days. So I told my wife, go out to Newport News, pray for him, sing with him, visit. Call Brother Keith. Thank God Brother Keith went along with it. They weren't able to stay too long because they gave him some medication and he was sleeping. But that's something that we do, investing our time. Not only your money, bring your money, your tithes, and your offerings. What have you offered God? Have you offered God your time?
Yeah, that's right.
Lord, what is it that you will have for me to do?
That's right.
That's one thing that we do
That's right.
faithfully. The tithes and the offerings. Don't skip the offerings, what you are offering to God. Now tithes. We give the half a day. Our offering is about the same amount as our half a day.
I'm a witness, true.
We don't cheat God.
Yes.
And for that, and my wife will tell you, I refuse to cheat God. And I refuse to be chinchy on God. She'll tell you. We first got married, before we got married, she was wondering, how much do you put in the plate? I told her how much. Huh? But you know what? She started giving the same amount. That was before we were married. She started giving the same amount. She said, well, God gives you the ability. It's a steep amount. But if God bless you to do it, then I'm sure he can bless me to do it. And because we are not chinchy on God, God has blessed us today. You often hear us say, Lord, bless us that we might be a blessing to others. And you hear some people say that, well, Lord, if you give me more, then I'll put more inside of the collection plate.
It work like that.
No.